If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Christine McIver.
That's me, Christine McIver, coming to you with another hot topic. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here. If you are joining us live and you'd like to ask some questions live, do come over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room, and you can join us in the TV studio as well as ask your questions live. And yeah, let's really support you with your business. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're someone who's thinking about being an entrepreneur, whether you're looking at just getting started or you've been doing it for some time, I would love to support you to grow even bigger, to scale your business, but most importantly, to have joy and pleasure in your business. Because to me, business should be pleasurable. So, tonight's show is how to know what to sell as an entrepreneur. Now, before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do. I am a business optimization expert. So I work with business owners to really optimize their businesses, optimize what they do, and their expertise, and really support them to understand how they can get their expertise out to the world, how they can be heard and seen even more, how to work with what they have created in their business to expand their business, to grow their business, and to have much more time and ease and pleasure with their business, and most certainly more profit with their business, because that's what it's all about, right? It's a combination of all of that. I'm also the CEO of the Inspired Choices Network, ICN Summits, ICN Publishing, and ICN Pro. So we have a whole suite of services that we offer our entrepreneurs to really bring all of the possibilities together to grow their business. If you're someone that is looking to bring your voice to the world, to be seen as a global authority and no longer be the best kept secret, do reach out to me. We can have a conversation and let's see where there's a possibility that we can partner together to make your business even more pleasurable and much more successful. So you can email me, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Remember, I love what I do. And when you love what you do, you are very good at what you do. All right. So tonight's show is probably about the 500th show that I have done. And I absolutely love doing these shows. I have been hosting my own show since 2011. A long, long time, 13 years now of having my own show. And it's really interesting because I never thought I would have enough topics for 1 year, let alone this many. And it's just so interesting how there's just more and more information that wants to be shared. And so I'm really glad that you're here. So I'm going to read the show notes to you so you understand what direction we're going tonight. And again, if you have any questions, please do come on over to the chat room and share them with us where I can answer them live on the show. So, how to know what to sell as an entrepreneur. How to know what to sell as an entrepreneur can be one of the most paralyzing tasks. In this show, we'll delve into the essential strategies for identifying product opportunities in any marketplace. As an entrepreneur, navigating the landscape of product offerings can be daunting. However, understanding your target audience is paramount. Successful ventures begin with understanding yourself, then your clients and customers, and their needs and desires. In this episode, we'll uncover actionable steps that both seasoned or novice entrepreneurs can identify the gaps in their product creations and how to close the gap immediately. From validating your business idea through to refining your value proposition, our discussion will equip you with the tools needed to make informed decisions. Whether you're launching a business or growing one, how to know what to sell as an entrepreneur will provide a roadmap to transform your entrepreneurial vision into a profitable reality. I'm very excited about tonight's show. And I'll tell you one of the biggest reasons I'm excited is because now that I understand all of the pieces that really support us to know what to sell and how to get to that place of knowing what is a real match for us, I'm excited to share that with others. Because when I started my business, I didn't understand the dynamics of what I'm going to share with you tonight. Like many, many coaches, I put out that I was a life coach. Lots and lots of people that started out before they understood their area of expertise use the term life coach. That's such a generic title. It's like saying, I'm a doctor. Well, what are you a doctor of? What are you a doctor that you specialize in? What can I look to expect support from you? Right? There's so many different categories of a business coach. There's so many different categories of an entrepreneur, but we need to learn more about ourselves so that we can learn what we can bring of value to our future clients and customers. And so that's what I really want to start off with. It's like getting to know you. Getting to know you is number one. That's the most important part of your products is it's more about you than you can really imagine. When many people start out and they think, I want to start a business, they have a business idea. It's often one idea, which is fine and great. And so they get very, very excited about it and they want to start putting it out there. And then what inevitably I've seen hundreds of customers and clients that I've worked with, what they begin to do is they start to look outside of them and they start to look at what other people are doing, what other people are offering, how they're wording that offer, how they're pricing that offer, all the details around that offer. And they miss the true connection to them. What is critical is to know is that when you're looking outside of yourself at what somebody else is doing, what they may be doing, first of all, may not be in alignment with them. So you might be watching somebody that is completely out of alignment. Well, when you're doing that with anything that you're learning from somebody, if you're learning from somebody that's out of alignment, you're going to be out of alignment. You can't not be. And on top of that, because you are working to basically cookie cutter what they're doing, you are more connected to them and their business than you're connected to yourself and your business. So, as an entrepreneur, it's paramount that you get to know who you are and what you love to do. We need to know what we love to do because it's inside of knowing what we love to do that we will find the value of the product opportunities we can bring to others. So, the very first task that I want you to begin to do is write down, and this is going to sound a little crazy, but I want you to go back and I want you to look at all the jobs that you ever had. Go right back to maybe babysitting or a newspaper route or working at a coffee shop, whatever it is, no matter what your age is, go look at every single job that you had and ask yourself this one question. What in this job did I love? What in this job did I love? What in this job was I really good at? Because sometimes we don't see that we loved something in a job, but sometimes we can acknowledge what we were really good at. So that is step number one. What did I really love about this job? And what was I really good at in this job? When you begin to do that, what you are going to start to recognize is a pattern in a lot of the things that you have been doing, a lot of the jobs that you have been doing. Now, include volunteer jobs as well. Include any kind of extracurricular activity work that you did for organizations. Maybe you worked at some schools for your children, or perhaps you volunteered in the community. You oftentimes will gravitate toward the tasks that you love or you're really good at. So include all of those. Make a long list of all of that, and then start to highlight the similarities that you notice. You're going to even though you have a product idea or a service idea, I strongly recommend that you do this, because you're going to discover a lot more offerings than you maybe are aware of. So sit down, spend some time doing that. You could spend some time over a few days doing that, but that's your first task, is to come up with that list so you get to know more and more about you. Remember that if you are in worry about money, if you are in any kind of concern and you want to start pushing forward with your business, with products, you are going to get caught up in a tangled web of unsuccessful product creation. And I'll tell you why that is. Because people can pick up on those energies, right? We pick up on the energies of push. We pick up on those energies of worry and fear. That's not where you want to be coming from. And remember, it doesn't matter if you have been doing your business for 15, for 30 years, or you've just been doing it for a year. This exercise that I'm going to go through, all of these steps that I'm sharing with you, they are going to be things that you can actually grow your business with again and again. I have been in my business now for 15 years, and I am right now in the midst of going through even more of this. These are tasks that you want to utilize to revisit your business again and again. You want to continue to be relevant with what's going on in your world and what's going on in your client's world. So, revisiting these tasks is actually kind of like a checkup of your business. This is an incredibly important area for you to be paying attention to, because when you become stagnant with your offerings, it will begin to impact your bottom line. You want to continue to evaluate. You want to check in, even with your business, asking your business questions. You'd be very surprised at how you can receive information back from your business. Your business, like any entity, has its own energy. And when you communicate with your business, you will start to receive signs, nudges, awarenesses of what your business can do to support you to grow even more. For instance, a quick little story. When I first was approached, which I really didn't have in my awareness of what this was, when I was first asked if I'd ever thought about having my own radio show, my entire body shook. It shook. Like, I'm not kidding you. I've never had that happen before. And now I know that it was my future self, my business trying to get my attention. Now, at the time, I wasn't quite sure what it was, but what I did know was there was something big here, and I couldn't say no. I had to say yes and move forward. That was in 2011, and my world has just expanded and blossomed so brilliantly because I listened. I absolutely listened to that awareness. Your business and your body is trying to communicate with you. Are you listening? All right, we are going to go for our first break of the show. I don't want you to go anywhere. I have so much to share with you. We're going to dive deep into more steps so you know how to create products and what you can sell as an entrepreneur. And you can be doing this, as I said, this exercise again and again. If you have any questions, come on over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com, join us in the chat room, and ask your questions. We will be returning in just a minute. You're listening to Inspired Choices with myself, Christine McIver, on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Yes, here we are. This is our second segment of the show. Now, if you're just joining us, during the first segment, I was talking about really getting to know you and getting to know what it is that you enjoy. And the very first exercise was to write down all the jobs that you've ever had, right from being a young child. List out what you enjoyed about that job and what you were really good at. That is step number one. It's so important that we do this step because when we follow with the next steps that I'm going to share with you, this one helps us to lead forward into those next steps. The next step that we want to move into is really looking at our customers. So you may not have customers yet, or you may have very few customers or clients. That's okay. When you think about what you really enjoy doing and what you're really good at, including in your business today, you start to get a sense of the people that you can serve, the people that you do serve, customers that you have had. We need to get to know those people on a much deeper level. I've always found this exercise to be challenging. People would often say, okay, get an avatar. Is it a male or a female? What age are they? And I had a problem with that. I don't know if anybody else has had an issue with that. It felt to me that when I was doing that, I was narrowing the field of opportunities for me, and I was judging people out of the possibilities of what they could be receiving from me and my business. So that's not something that I do. You can still do that if that works for you, but just check in on that. Does that really make sense for you and your business? Now, the next step that I suggest that you do is to start to look at that customer or client from a problem perspective. And the reason that we say from a problem perspective is because people will resonate with the problem that you serve, the problem that you can fix, the problem that you can support. People are not looking to you and resonating with you when you say things like, I'm going to help you make $1 million, and I'm this and I'm that, and this is what I give you, and da 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 da. They don't. That is not what people resonate with. Now, the first time I heard that, I thought that is absolutely crazy. That's what people want. People want the resolution. They want the fix. They want the shiny ball. Actually, that might be what they want, but that's not what they resonate with. So you need to be identifying with them, meeting them where they are. You need to be speaking to them about the problems. You need to be letting them know the problems that you actually can fix, the problems that you support them with, because that's where they are. The problem is the issue that they're struggling with. And so if they are only reading the wonderful things, they're going to think, well, I'm not there. That's not where I'm at. That's not who I am. So they immediately disengage from that, at least in the beginning. Eventually you'll speak about the solutions. But out of the gate, you need to be able to catch their attention, and you need to be able to give them the opportunity to identify with where they are right now. So how do we do that? Well, here's the next step. I'm going to talk about a lot of these questions, and then I'm going to give you some suggestions. So I'd like you to, if you're not already, taking out a pen and a paper, writing some of these down. They really make a huge, huge difference. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come up with a list of problems that your clients or customers have. Okay. So again, you're thinking about the things that you can offer to people, the things that you have offered to people. Like, for instance, if you are a coach of any kind and you've worked with people, you've heard them talk about the problems that they have, about the things that they struggle with. These are some of the things that we want to get really super clear about. We want to have a very robust list so we can really look at this, and we can really then start to identify from those problems the solutions. And once we have a list of problems and we have a list of solutions, that's where we're going to go into the product opportunity. That's your product opportunity right there. These are the products that you are going to be offering in the marketplace. So that's what we want to get to, is your product opportunity. All right. So, okay. So here are some of the questions that I want you to start spending some time with when you're thinking about your customer. Okay. So the first question is, what do they worry about? What is your customer worrying about? Is your customer worrying about having the confidence to get the job that they're applying for? Are they worrying about the ability to have a strong relationship? Are they worrying about paying their bills? Are they worrying about having a professional website? What are they worrying about? Now, this list can be very, very exhaustive. So please do continue to add to this list. The next question that I want you to consider and really put down a number of things is, what does your customer get upset about? What do they get upset about? Do they get upset because they don't understand computers? Do they get upset because they're overwhelmed with tasks in their business? Do they get upset because they are constantly spending time searching for things in their computer, or spending time searching for emails? Are they spending an excessive amount of time trying to figure out what to email to their customers? Are they spending an exhaustive amount of time trying to find the right employees to hire? What do they get upset about? It's different than worrying. All right. Can you start to see how these lists can be expansive? How they can really have a lot of information in there? Okay. The next question I want you to ask is, What are they afraid of? What is your customer afraid of? Is your customer afraid that they're not going to be able to pay their bills? Are they afraid that no one's going to hire them? Are they afraid that they're not going to be attractive in the marketplace? Are they afraid they're not going to have the knowledge to support their customers? Are they afraid that they're not going to get approved for a loan? Are they afraid that people are not going to actually want to work with them? What are they afraid of? Now, again, this has to do with your customers. Whatever you do with your customers, you want to utilize these questions to support you to find this list of problems. Okay. The next question I want you to ask is, what do they believe they need help with? What do they believe they need help with? Do they believe that they need help with a brand new website? Now, I've met people before who have said that to me, and I've looked at their website, and building websites is something that I have done. And I've looked at their website and I said, no, you don't need a brand new website. You need it tweaked, but you don't need a brand new website. So, but do they believe that that's what they need? Do they believe that they need some high-paying marketing firm to work with them? Do they believe that they need to go to some kind of more school? I see a lot of people taking a lot of courses again and again and again. Is that something they believe that they need in order to be successful? What do they believe that they need? We need to look at that, right? We need to understand what they believe. Now, what do they need? What do they need? Do they need more confidence? Do they need more knowledge? Do they need an expert area that they can focus on? Do they need a keynotes talk? Do they need professional headshots? Do they need a marketing strategy? What do they need? Think about again. Keep considering the people that you have worked with and what you've learned about them that they need. Do they need some inner child work done? Do they need personal development? Do they need a psychiatrist? Do they need a psychologist? Do they need to do some deep diving into mindset work? What do they need? I know this is a lot of questions, but when you lay it all out and you really start to make this list, it is so fascinating, because what I have discovered is many of us have all this information in our head on how we can assist our clients, how we can serve our customers, but yet we do not articulate it well. We do not understand how to take all of this and create it as an offering. And doing this exercise, going through these lists and spending some time doing this work, which is working in your business, it is going to expand the product offerings that you are brilliant at, not what other people are brilliant at. It's going to expand what you can offer to the world. And you are immediately going to be up-leveling yourself and your business. So I hope you got all those questions down. They're really, really important. And when we come back from the next break, we're going to have more questions to go through, and I will explain where to kind of look at them. And then we're going to move into the next step to really getting into the product opportunities that you're going to have. So you're listening to Inspired Choices. I am your host, Christine McIver. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. Don't go away, my friends. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hello, 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 my friends. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Wherever you're listening from, I so appreciate it. I would love for you to put hashtag live or hashtag replay. And then, of course, please put down your comments, your questions, or feel free to send me a private email at Christine at InspiredChoices.ca. I answer all the questions that come my way. And if you'd like to connect and have a deeper conversation, we can certainly do that. One of the things that I offer to all of my clients is I have a strategic business package. The strategic business package is a 3 or a 6 months package where we work one-on-one to go through so many areas of your business, areas of your business where you're struggling, areas of your business where you need to grow, areas of your business that you may not even know that you need to be working on. If you'd like to know more of that about the strategic business package, please go to InspiredChoices.ca, my personal website, and you can find out all the information and more there. Okay, let's get back into the show. So tonight we are talking about how to know what to sell as an entrepreneur. So again, it doesn't matter where you are in the entrepreneurial cycle, right? Whether you've been around for quite a while or you're just new, it's important that you continue to look at your offerings. When you continue to look at your offerings, you sharpen what you're doing. You also look at your client base. You know, when I started my business 15 years ago, my client base and their desires were very different than my client base today. The thing of it is that as you grow, as you evolve, as you up-level yourself, your business is going to change with you. So you can't be offering the same thing year in and year out because it's no longer going to be a match for you. As well as it's not going to be as interesting, it's not going to be as enjoyable, and it's probably not going to be as profitable as it probably could be. So the exercise that we've been going through, especially in the last segment, is so important. All right, let's get back into some of the questions that I really want you to be working with. So the next question I want you to ask is, what is your client or customer? What problems do they deal with? Do they deal with low self-esteem? Do they deal with poor cash flow? Do they deal with difficulty in communication? Do they deal with difficulty in marketing? Are they overwhelmed with technology? What are the problems that they deal with? I'm just giving you some ideas. I want you to really look at what you're brilliant at and what you know your customers and clients are having problems with. Okay. So Now ask yourself, what bothers them? What bothers your clients? What bothers your customers? Are they bothered by the fact that they're not as successful as they want to be? Are they bothered by the fact that they feel like they're struggling for people to be aware of who they are? Are they bothered by the fact that they can't provide for their family? Are they bothered by the fact that they seem to have difficulty communicating? What bothers your client? Okay. Each of these questions have a different aspect in that person's life. If you were to actually ask them these questions separately, I am sure that they would come out with different answers. Sometimes they feel like they're the same type of question, but they clearly are not. What somebody's worried about and what somebody is bothered by can be very, very different. What makes them angry, very, very different. What they worry about, oh my gosh, could be so many things. And so that's why we need to be spending some time getting to know them. All right, we've got a few more questions I want you to go through. Where are they wasting money? Where are your clients wasting money? Are they wasting money in ads that they're running online? Are they wasting money with paying employees that don't have clear job descriptions and tasks, and they are having these people doing all sorts of things and then not actually using them and making a profit by what they're doing? Are they wasting money on all sorts of extras? I've met so many clients who have all these extra business tools because, oh, that sounds good, and that sounds good, and that sounds good, and that sounds good. And they have all these different tools that they are not utilizing. And oftentimes they're very similar in what they can do for them. Where are they wasting their money? Are they wasting their money on distracting themselves from their challenges, their problems? Are they spending money like going out and buying all sorts of things? Are they spending money on some kind of an addiction? Where are they wasting their money? What are they insecure about? Oftentimes, people are insecure about their abilities. Understand what they're insecure about. Start asking those questions. Where are they insecure? Are they insecure in their self-confidence? Are they insecure in their expertise? Are they insecure in understanding accounting? Are they insecure in their cash flow? Are they insecure in communicating with their customers? Are they insecure in communicating with their loved ones? If they're a parent, are they insecure in how to parent successfully? What are your customers and clients insecure about? Here's a couple different ones. What is causing them physical pain? What is causing them physical pain? Physical pain, people can have physical pain. Everybody's customers can have some kind of physical pain. Remember, most of the time, it starts out from an intellectual or emotional aspect that manifests in a physical ailment. So what is the physical pain that they are experiencing? Do they have physical pain in their knees? Do they have physical pain in their hips? Do they have physical pain in their level of energy? Are they exhausted all of the time? Where is their physical body struggling in their life and in their businesses, if your clients are business owners? What is costing them emotional pain? What is costing them emotional pain? Are they insecure, or do they lack the ability to communicate their emotions to someone else? And so that's costing them emotional pain with maybe their partner or their children. Where do they have emotional pain in their business? What do they really struggle with from an emotional perspective? These are, and Sarah said, these are really good questions. They are really good questions, aren't they? It's a really robust list. And I've got one more for you, and then we're going to go into the next stage of what I want you to start to do. The last question is, what makes them happy? What makes your customers or clients happy? Are they happy when they can be organized in their computer? Are they happy when they have a plan? Are they happy when they feel like their communication is going to be clear? Are they happy when their children are happy? Are they happy when they have time to take care of themselves? What is it that makes your customers happy? Okay, so this very robust list is quite exhaustive. I know that. Now, what you want to do is after you have completed this very long list for each of these questions, I want you to, beside each of those answers that you came up with, I want you to start listing what it is that you can problem solve with that. What is it that you do that you can actually help them with this list? If it's somebody that is struggling with their business message, are you an expert writer? Are you someone who is great at websites? Are you a NLP expert? Are you fabulous with marketing? What is it that you can offer that you've probably offered in the past? And it doesn't have to have a formal name, none of that. Just write down what it is that you can offer them for each of the problems that come up. Okay, so let's go back for just a second. We started out with the list around what you loved about a job and what you were really good at. Then we start looking at what problems your customers have through this very deep list that we went through tonight. And then you're to go through that list once you've completed it. Complete it first. Don't start the third step until you've completed that list. Then the third step is to go through and actually put down what it is you can solve, what it is you can offer them to solve those problems that you are really great at, that you're an expert at. Write that down beside every single one of those tasks. What you're going to begin to see is that you have more product offerings in your back pocket than you ever imagined. Because oftentimes we as entrepreneurs, we figure out, okay, I'd really like to offer this. And then we focus on one or two things. And yet what we have, you've probably been around for 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 years, and you've been learning and growing through all of that time. You have a lot more that you can offer to your customers and clients than you actually realize. And this exercise, what I've been going through tonight, is going to start to reveal that to you. And it's going to be so exciting because now all of a sudden you're going to start to open up and see, hey, I am an expert. I have so many things that I can offer to people, and my business can expand. Now, do not go into overwhelm, because you get to choose what you're going to add and when you're going to add it. I mean, doing this exercise, you could come up with, 10 new things that you're going to offer. Get really clear about each of those offerings. And maybe you introduce one new one a month, or a couple every couple of months, whatever works for you. Don't put yourself into overwhelm. Put yourself into the driver's seat of brilliance of your offerings. And again, especially if you're just starting out, you want to focus on 3 or 4 offerings at the most. because you don't want to look like you're going in 17 directions. You want to start to build that confidence. And especially if you are really rejigging your business, if you're really looking at it and expanding it in a new way, you want to start slowly with your offerings. We're going to go to our last break of the show. When we come back, then we're going to start to talk about the next steps once you actually have those offers listed down. You are listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
How many of you want to scale your business? How many of you want to grow your net profit? What if I told you by doing these exercises and by really diving into the possibilities of new product opportunities that you could double your income over the next year? You really, really can, but you've got to do the work. You've got to sit down and really do a deep evaluation of where you are at with your product offerings. There's a lot of other things that you need to do in your business. And of course, as I talked about before, if you're interested, having a business strategy session with me, we'll start to reveal those things. But what I would love for you to do is for you to start to recognize that there are things that you need to be doing and can be doing to come up with an amazing list of opportunities for you to put out there in the world. This is how you come up with product opportunities. Once you've come up with your product opportunities and you've narrowed it down, this is where you want to start looking at the investment that you have made in your education, the investment that you have made. You want to look at how much time that you have invested, how much money you have invested in every single solitary course that you have ever taken, whether you've gone to college, university, you took courses online, you went to some night classes. Add all of that up. Add up all of that. If you have invested time working in your business over a number of years and you've worked, let's say, 20 hours a week with customers, that's valuable knowledge that you've cultivated as well. You want to start looking at each individual thing that you have done and start to assign a dollar value to that. Once you begin to do that, and I've done this with so many customers, they are blown away at how much investment that they have made. Now, imagine you've got this long list of the things that you can provide now. You've gone through these steps, and now match that with how much you've invested. Your self-worth, when you look at both of these lists, is going to grow. Now, when you start to look at pricing, and that's an entirely different show, but when you start to look at pricing, your opinion around what you can actually ask for, the value of what you offer is going to rise. Now, if you start to knock up against, uncomfortable with growing your prices, that's a completely different area of work that you need to be doing. You need to be looking at all sorts of things, from the way that you were raised, your belief system, any kind of money trauma that you have had, because those things will hold you back from being able to increase your price point and be comfortable in sending invoices. I know people that are so uncomfortable in sending invoices that they are not sending them out, and they're actually losing customers because they're not sending their invoices out. Customers are like, I can't do this. Like, you all of a sudden send me an invoice, and instead of it being for 1 month, it's now for 3. This is too much. I don't understand what's going on. I actually had a lawyer do that once. Didn't send me an invoice for 6 months, and then suddenly sent me one, and it was $20,000. Like, excuse me? You're not doing your customers a favor. You're certainly not doing your business a favor. And imagine that you had that money in your bank account and it was actually accumulating interest, or you could pay your bills and not get interest on your bills. So this is the part where you start to look at the value of what you have to offer. You also want to look at how you're going to work with your clients or your customers. If it's a product, it's a very straightforward way that you offer the product. But if it's a service, are you going to be working with them daily, weekly, monthly, twice a month, 3 times a month? How are you going to be doing that? Is it an hour? Are you doing it in person? Are you doing it online? All of these things are important to look at, because they are going to also speak to the price point. And when you're looking at what your worth is and the knowledge that you bring to the table and what you are proposing that you can solve for your customers, that is very valuable to them, especially when you look at the long list of where their problems are, right? They need help. They need support. And you bringing your expertise to the table and you bringing your value to the table, pardon me, will make all the difference in the world. They will want to hire you when you are coming across at solving their problems. So, my friends, I know this was a very exhaustive conversation tonight, but a very, very important one. When you bring all of this together, you're going to start to create even more opportunities in your business, and you're going to elevate your level of expertise, because you're going to understand who you are even more deeply. You're going to understand your customers more deeply, and you're going to be able to support your customers in ways that you never even imagined that you could. I'm so glad that you joined us tonight. And if you really enjoyed tonight's show, I would love for you to go over to iTunes and give me a 5-star review. It helps to get this information out to other people that are looking for it, and it helps to elevate the show and helps to really elevate the entire platform, so everyone here at Inspired Choices Network can be seen and heard even greater. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being part of my day. I appreciate it so very, very much. And again, if you have any questions, if you would like to know more about how I can actually support you in growing your business, send me an email, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. Of course, my website is inspiredchoices.ca. And if you're interested in bringing your expertise to the world and becoming a global authority here at Inspired Choices Network, send me an email, Christine at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Until next week, my friends, I want you to remember that you can always make another choice. Take good care of yourself.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.